You still ain't seen that? Welcome back to Scottish Movies, and it's time for another episode of the new series on my channel. You still ain't seen that? This is where I talk about basically stuff I've been watching. Generally, first time watches, but you got the odd film in there that I've seen before, but it's probably been quite a while. Excuse me. And yeah, that's it really. So what have I been watching over the last few weeks? First up, I watched a movie on Disney Plus called Vacation Friends 2. Yeah, this was the sequel to a movie. I think it come out around lockdown time, starring John Cena, and I can't remember the other actor's name, but he was like a couple of husband and wife couples that in the first movie they sort of didn't get on, and then ultimately ended up becoming friends. And this is like just a follow-up movie. This one also starred Steve Buscemi as John Cena's father-in-law, and they all get sort of caught up in a kind of a subplot with Steve Buscemi trying to uncover some drugs and I think he's trying to pay off some drug dealers or something like that. I forget now. Was it any good? Well, it wasn't as good as the first one. I'd have forgotten what happened in the first one now as well, but it was a couple of years since seen it. But I remember quite enjoying it. But this one, yeah, it wasn't all that, I'll be honest. And yeah, if it's a Sunday afternoon, you could probably watch it. If you did enjoy the first one, this might be worth a watch. But otherwise, I wouldn't bother. So yeah, that was Vacation Friends 2. And next movie is one I have on DVD. This is a film that is a kind of a unofficial sequel to A Fish Called Wanda, and it was Fierce Creatures, starring John Cleese, Kevin Kline, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Michael Palin. Is it? Yeah, Michael Palin. Pretty much the cast from Fish Called Wanda, where they're sort of in a zoo. Yeah, it's like an English zoo where they try to basically get rid of its cute animals and just basically get loads of fierce animals in there, really, like like tigers and lions and everything. And yeah, it was any good. Yeah, I quite enjoyed this actually. It's got a few English actors in there, right? One I do remember seeing was Ronnie Corbett of all people. And yeah, I did quite enjoy it. It's quite a fun time. It's not a patch on A Fish Called Wanda, but yeah, it was definitely worth a watch, and it was quite amusing. So yeah, that was Fierce Creatures. Okay, so next up, I watched a movie from 1974, starring Charles Bronson, and yeah, I watched the original Death Wish. Yeah, this was a good movie. Yeah, believe it or not, never seen Death Wish. It stars Charles Bronson as a guy that basically has his wife and daughter attacked. I think his wife's killed and his daughter's like sexually assaulted and by a gang of thugs, and it's basically a kind of a revenge movie. And he was that pissed off so much he made I think he made about 5 of these movies. But yeah, it was pretty good. It was very 70s. It had a good sort of 70s feel to it, obviously, and yeah, he just turns into a vigilante and goes after these thugs and sort of anybody really that pisses him off. What the interesting thing about this, what I did notice, was Jeff Goldblum actually in it as one of the thugs, and he apparently, I believe this was his actual first movie role, so that was weird. I saw him, I was like, God, that guy looks like Jeff Goldblum. I was like, it is Jeff Goldblum, and he's very young Jeff Goldblum. So yeah, that was interesting. So yeah, Death Wish. Yeah, enjoyed it. Am I going to watch the sequels? Well, I'll keep an eye out for them in charity shops, and I would be interested definitely. Whether you just get more of the same and this is the best one, I don't know. But yeah, well, that's Death Wish. Next up, I watched a movie I picked up on Blu-ray from the States not long ago. It's only coming in the last month or so. This is a rewatch. I've not seen it in about probably 30 years, and it's V.I. Warshawski, V.I. Warshawski, I think it is. Kathleen Turner, where she basically stars as sort of a sort of private detective, private investigator, and yeah, what happens? I've forgotten now. Yeah, she's hired by the daughter of a guy that's murdered, and she's basically trying to track down the culprits, basically. But yeah, it's quite a good little film. It's a fun 90 minutes. I do remember watching this, like I said, on Sky probably about 30 years ago, and I did enjoy it. And when I saw this for about £3, I thought I'd pick it up, and I did enjoy watching it again. So yeah, that's Kathleen Turner in V.I. Warshawski, if that's how you say it. Next up is a film that you could definitely say you still ain't seen that, and it's Harrison Ford in Patriot Games. Yeah, I'd never seen Patriot Games, or well, I've not seen any of the other Jack Ryan movies. Yeah, this was an awesome movie. This was really good. As I imagine it would be. It's just for some reason I've never watched it. I'm a big Harrison Ford fan. He's probably my favourite actor growing up with him being Indiana Jones and Han Solo. And yeah, this is just one character of his that I've not got round to watching. Yeah, basically he's like a CIA agent or something, and he gets involved with the IRA, and it's just a really good sort of action movie. Really, he also stars Sean Bean, and yeah, it was a really good film, and I look forward to now to watching the sequels, It Clear and Pleasant Danger, and then you got I think a couple of others with not with Harrison Ford. Next up, I watched a movie from the 80s. I think it's from 1981, if I remember rightly. And this recently got a 4K release. And I've had the DVD for years, and it probably was a kid when I watched this, and I'll be honest, I didn't remember anything about it. And it was Gregory's Girl. Yeah, all I remembered, it was a girl that used to play football, and the guy's fancies her, basically. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. It's a fun movie. Did have a kind of a strange ending for me. I thought it was quite an abrupt ending. And yeah, and what was that penguin all about? Don't know if anyone's supposed to know. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Gregor's Girl, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. And I say I'd definitely seen it when I was younger, but I'd forgotten everything about this movie. And yeah, I was definitely due a rewatch. So yeah, I was happy to watch it. I don't think it's something I'd be upgrading. I'm happy with the DVD, but yeah, it's good film nonetheless. Next up, I watched a Blu-ray film I've seen tons of times. Probably seen it in the last couple of years, but wouldn't normally highlight it. But I picked up the Blu-ray, and it was Rat Race. Yeah, absolutely love this film. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, I always watched it again. I had to watch the Blu-ray. First time in HD, you could say. Next up, I watched a British film, The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry, starring Jim Broadbent, who I grew up knowing as Chief Inspector Slater from Only Fools and Horses. Well, he's obviously done loads of roles. I think he's in Harry Potter as well. He's in tons of roles. I watched him in a film called The Duke, I think, just like the other year. It was good. And yeah, this was quite good as well. About a guy that basically decides to walk from where he lives to the other end of the country in somewhere in Scotland, to see a friend who's sort of is dying basically. And yeah, and it's just about his journey. It also starred Penelope Wilson, I think her name is, who yeah, was a British actress. I can't remember what she's in, but she was familiar anyway. I want to say, it wasn't the girl. It wasn't the lady out of One Foot in the Grave. I think she was in Afterlife with Ricky Gervais TV series. But yeah, it's quite a good movie. It was quite a slow one, but I did quite enjoy it. It's probably a one-time watch though for me. But yeah, it's worth checking out. But it's probably a one-time watch. Well, it was for me anyway. Next up, I watched DC movie Blue Beetle. Yeah, I finally got around to watching Blue Beetle. You know what? I really enjoyed Blue Beetle. I don't know if it got a lot of hate and a lot of grief when it came out. But I'll be honest, for a DC film that didn't have sort of high hopes for, I just really enjoyed it. I preferred it to Black Adam, definitely. And it's kind of like almost like a standalone DC movie, really. I don't know. I don't know if they're planning to do anymore, where they are anymore now with the DC universe getting a reshuffle with James Gunn and everything. But if it just was a standalone, it felt like a standalone movie anyway, and it was good to see something like that for me. I just enjoyed it. So yeah, that was Blue Beetle. If you like these kind of things, it's definitely worth a watch. I don't quite get the hate for it. Like I say, it's definitely better than Black Adam. And the final film I've watched is a movie starring Robert De Niro and Nick Nolte, and I've got it here on this Robert De Niro steelbook. It's got 5 movies in there. I did actually watch Cape Fear from 1991, I think it was, for the first time. Yeah, wow, a smart Martin Scorsese movie. I'll be honest, I don't think I've seen a lot of Martin Scorsese movies, but I wasn't sure to begin with, but as it got moving along, yeah, this was a great film. De Niro was just fantastic in it. It was just a nutter, basically. So that was the story of this guy that gets out of prison, and he goes after Nick Nolte, who was his like lawyer, and ended up not basically helping him, and he didn't help him avoid prison, and he's just kind of comes out stalking his family, and yeah, and that was it really, and yeah, just De Niro is just proper unhinged in this film, but it was a fantastic performance by him, and yeah, I know it's widely thought of as a very good film, and yeah, I can see why now. I was happy to finally watch it, and yeah, it was very, very good. I will actually be watching a couple of other films on this steelbook. I've got a couple I've been wanting to watch for a long time. For example, Sleepers. This was a film I remember wanting to watch when it came out in the 90s, and all these years later, I've still not watched it. And you also got Casino on there, which yeah, it looks quite interesting. I've been to Vegas, so if it's got a lot of like Vegas in there, that'd be interesting to watch. Obviously, also you got Taxi Driver, which is obviously supposed to be a classic, and Mean Streets, which I don't really know much about, but yeah. But this time around, I've watched Cape Fear, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. And yeah, that is it for everything I've been watching on DVD streaming or whatever. Oh yeah, one other thing, I did watch a bit of TV. I have got caught up with the new Star Wars series on Disney Plus, Ahsoka, which I'm ashamed to say I didn't watch straight away. Kind of binged it in a couple of days, and because I've been being bugged by my brother, amongst others, to get it watched. And I'm a big Star Wars fan. I just not got around to watching it. And yeah, that's awesome. Really enjoying Ahsoka. I've watched a couple more episodes of Dawson's Creek. I've not got that much further into that yet, but I need to get that back into that. And yeah, that is it for this time round. So yeah, comment down below if you've seen any of these films. If any of these films would have been worth first time watch for you. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And I'll see you soon for some more stuff I've been watching that you might say, you still ain't seen that? See you in a bit, guys.